Out in the hallway, you saw two intruders in front of your parents' door. You had to stop them from hurting your parents. You knew you had the power to stop them, so for the first time, you called upon your blaster powers.
South Park: The Stick of Truth is one of the rare games that somehow perfectly nails the essence of the property it's based on. The expertly crafted writing hits the comedy factor the show is so well known for, and the visuals never break the illusion that you're in control of an episode of the cartoon. It also doesn't have such a bad RPG system either, delivering surprisingly competent battles to top it all off. Now, 3 years and 2 delays later, the sequel, The Fractured But Whole, is poised to arrive this October.
Human Kite, do I have to remind you that as of right now, Freedom Pals have 100 followers on Instagram?
We recently got to go hands-on with the game for about 4 hours, starting at the very beginning and going through many of the new core mechanics. You're still the new kid in town, trying to fit in with the kids of South Park, but the rules have changed. No longer are you fighting a medieval-style battle and enjoying your status as the king. Rather, the theme shifts to superheroes, where Eric Cartman reprises his role as the Coon and warns of an impending doom if the others don't fall in line to join his quest.
Hey! Do not touch that! That device can blow up the entire Milky Way galaxy!
So it falls to you to once again impress Cartman and join his ranks to set off on another ridiculous journey with your fellow 4th graders. But first, you have to decide on your new look. The new character creator allows you to mix and match with a great degree of freedom, and whatever you come up with ultimately feels right at home in the South Park universe.
Look, dude, we already told you, you can't play. You aren't a superhero. You don't have a costume. You don't have any superpowers.
However, before moving on, there's one more option to select, and it's the first chance the game takes at pushing the boundaries of its edgy comedy. You're prompted to choose your difficulty, but all you see is a color palette that affects your skin color. The lighter your skin, the easier the difficulty setting and vice versa. We were left wondering if this is just a joke, or if it would actually affect the difficulty. Are the creators finally crossing the line in our current environment? After sitting on the screen for a few seconds, Cartman's voice exclaims,
"Don't worry, this doesn't affect combat, just every other aspect of your whole life."
From there, a series of events unfolds, which leads you to approach Cartman about joining his ranks. The Coon's lair contains plenty of cool nuggets, including a chalkboard with a franchise plan that clearly spoofs the phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Once Cartman offers you the chance to become a superhero, you'll have to fill out your profile on Coonstagram and select a starting class for your character. You have the option to be a speedster, a brutalist, or a blaster, and after you've made your choice, it's time to move on to the most important part of your superhero persona, your tragic backstory.
Okay, douchebag, but now, we need to find out what terrible thing in your past drives you. You see, douche, all superheroes have a compelling backstory. It's from that backstory that their powers gain meaning. Let's take you back to when you were just a child.
As Cartman recounts your childhood tragedy, you simply have to follow his directions to proceed, and he'll chide you for going off script. Eventually, you reach the battle tutorial, facing off against home invaders to learn your newfound powers, which, in this case, were our blaster abilities. Combat is drastically different from the previous game. It's more of a light strategy RPG system where you move around a grid-based environment. Your attacks have various ranges and can sometimes change the position of you or your opponents. There's a small learning curve, but from what we've seen, it's much more robust than the system in The Stick of Truth.
Little did they know, they set themselves up for destruction.
So much range!
Cartman then sends you on a series of missions that eventually take you head-to-head with a group of 6th graders in the first true test of your combat prowess. Joined by allies Human Kite and Super Craig, you must combine your abilities to overcome the superior numbers of the 6th graders. Here, the game offers you options to set the battle difficulty with 3 different settings to pick from. If you later feel like you're in over your head, you can always lower the setting in the main menu.
Okay, that was pretty badass. We make a good team!
Proving your worth only unlocks a new set of missions from Cartman, but you're now able to explore South Park more freely. One of our quests will take you to Freeman's Tacos, a small Mexican fast food joint run by none other than Morgan Freeman. He explains that your order is completely customizable, allowing you to craft whatever type of food you want. Ordering here serves as the tutorial for the game's crafting system, which makes use of the various trinkets and items you unearth over the course of your adventure.
Freeman's Tacos is completely craft your own. You know what crafting is, don't you?
From the crafting menu, you can create mission items, consumables, costumes, and artifacts, items you can equip to enhance your abilities and traits. Certain items also have crafting level restrictions until you rank up. After crafting a burrito and combining it with an enchilada, you create an enchilada, which completes one of your many quests and unlocks a whole new set of recipes to use down the road.
Congratulations, new kid. With an enchilada and a burrito, you've crafted an enchilada. That's the first time anyone's ever done that.
Freeman's Tacos also showcases 3 other unique elements present in the game. First, the toilet minigames are back, which are a series of gross QuickTime events set to some nice chiptune music. Then there's an odd picture you can collect off the stall. These collectibles are scattered all across South Park, and collecting enough of them will nab you sweet rewards. Finally, after creating your concoctions, you have the chance to take a selfie with Mr. Freeman. By taking selfies with various people in South Park, you increase your followers on Coonstagram, helping to level up your influencer ranking. This new mechanic certainly appears to play a key role in progressing through the game, while poking fun at our society's current obsession with social media. One of your next destinations is South Park Elementary School, where you're set to meet with the counselor, Mr. Mackey, about sex issues. Before you can dive into the topic, Mackey asks you to reveal your gender identity. Then some seriously bizarre music comes on, and you're prompted to input your gender ID with the options male, female, or other. If you pick male or female, he then asks whether you're cisgender or transgender. If you pick other, Mackey is a bit shocked and confused, asking whether you are sure you're neither a boy nor girl and that you don't believe you have a gender. Rather than taking you at face value, Mackey calls your parents to verify your gender identification. He stumbles a bit when trying to use the right pronoun before settling on they, but finally gets confirmation from your parents that you identify as gender neutral. Mackey wraps up the call by saying nothing's wrong with this revelation, but told us that several of our classmates and teachers were under the impression we were a boy.
Okay, well, this is a shocker, new kid.
With that all cleared up, Mackey reassures you that there is nothing wrong with your gender identity and people can identify however they want. But he warns you that not everyone is so understanding in the world and might not accept you for who you are.
Just be careful, okay? Because there's a lot of people out there who don't accept you for what you are, and then you're going to have to deal with them, okay? So, but come see me anytime.
Like clockwork, the moment you exit the school, you're confronted by a group of angry rednecks donning some very stereotypical outfits. They don't take kindly to your type and decide to welcome you to their town with a good beating. A banjo serenades the fight as the rednecks holler various slurs and insults your way. This time around, you're also joined by Fast Pass, making a full party of 4 members to control in battle. This is also one of the first times you can access the ultimate attack that's possible when you fill up a meter at the top of the screen. A single character can execute it when it's their turn, delivering an all-powerful strike against your opponents.
Fast Pass, I need you to use your superhuman speed to get to the mayor's office and tell her we're on the case. Don't worry, Coon. You can count on Fast Pass to get there fast. Excuse me.
The last of these objectives takes you to Raisins, a spoof of Hooters, to track down the superhero Mosquito for his help. However, when you find Mosquito, he's smitten with the charm of the Raisins girls. You have to snap him out of his trance and fight your way through the girls to make it out alive. Afterwards, Mosquito joins your ranks, and you can then swap out party members before a battle begins. It's clear South Park The Fractured But Whole is trying to push the limits of its humor further than before, but at the same time, the game still feels like an extension of the show. Much like its predecessor, the visuals, writing, and voice work scream that this is genuine South Park. The new combat system offers more in the way of strategy, and it's a bolder move than simply attempting to add a new mechanic or two. It remains to be seen whether it can maintain these strengths consistently until the end, so check back when our final review hits in October.
Oh hey, I'm in your imagination. Just a friendly Catholic priest who would like to get to know you a little better.
Yeah, that's right. I'm totally in your imagination too, about to give you a shoulder rub. Ever imagine you'd feel something like this?
Let me adjust the lighting in here a bit so we can get some visuals with that.